Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Broken Crayon Still Color podcast. I am your host, Tara, and I want us to think about something for a moment as we open up. I want us to think about technology for a minute, particularly a computer, even more particularly a computer keyboard. On the computer keyboard, there are three buttons that we are all familiar with, and that is the Control Alt Delete buttons. Three buttons: Control Alt Delete. Now, we all know these three buttons to be something, especially if you work um, in a profession where you use a computer. We use these three buttons when we don't necessarily want to shut down our computer, but maybe we want to step away for a while and we don't want anyone to just have access to it. Now, you can use Control Alt Delete when you want to shut down. I think lock, shut down, restart, and all of those options pop up when you hit Control Alt Delete. But it doesn't all the time mean you want to shut down your computer. Maybe you want to step away to do something else and you don't necessarily want to shut down. You just need to step away to get your thoughts together. Maybe you want to step out of your office. Maybe you just want to step away from your computer, whatever the case may be. You hit Control Alt Delete, you come back, you hit Control Alt Delete, you put in your password, and whatever you were working on for the time being pops back up. I want to use Control Alt Delete in a human sense for the next, I don't know, say 30 minutes. And I want us to see if we can utilize the Control Alt Delete in our personal lives for a minute. So for episode 2 of Broken Crayon Still Color, we will title it Control Alt Delete. Now, most of us are busy. I'll be the first to say we have work, we have family lives, we have extracurricular activities that consume most of our day. So if we can break up our day into hours, let's look at it like this. There are 24 hours in a day. We all can attest to that. Some of us work 8, 10, 12, so on and so forth hours a day. When we clock out for the day, some of us, we pick up the kids, we may stop by the grocery store, we may come home, cook, help kids with homework, tend to things around the house, put the kids, in the bath, get them ready for bed, you know. Then we may get ourselves wind down, get ready for bed. By this time, it may be 10, 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. How much of that day did we really take time for ourselves before we have to wake up the next morning and do it all over again? Most of us can attest to the fact that we don't really have a lot of time for that, especially if we have multiple kids. And then if we add on, if those kids have extracurricular activities, and if they have other things, or if we have other obligations to attend to. So it's safe to say that we're doing a lot of running. Some of us do a lot of running for other people. So we may tend to other family members' needs, and we may have other things that we have to get done for other people. And we don't really have the time to take time for ourselves. So if we're doing that Monday through Friday, and some of us, we're doing that Monday through Monday. And if we're doing that constantly, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, how long do you think it's going to take before our body tells us, hey, we're shutting down? It's not going to take very long. I tend to believe that we as adults sometimes feel like we have to keep going. If I don't get it done, it's not going to get done. So I have to keep going. I have to keep going. I have to keep going. And In some cases, that may have some truth to it. It may. I won't say it doesn't. But let's think about it. So let's say we keep running, we keep running, we keep running, we keep running, and we shut down and we go down. And whatever it is that we were doing doesn't get done. Eventually, I tend to believe somebody will pick up the slack and it will get done. What made us feel that there was some medal of honor at the end of life for who could be the most exhausted? The more we keep running, the more we keep going, the more we keep pushing, the angrier we get. And what happens is we express that anger outwardly to the people technically who are not making us run. We have to learn how to control alt delete. We have to learn how to shut down and say, you know what? I need to back up for a little while and control alt delete. I need to step away. This is a lot. I'm going to tell you guys, story time. I'm going to tell you guys the moment I found power in my control alt delete. And I don't know if I found power in my control alt delete, but it was the first time I decided to control alt delete. So it was one night I was writing in my journal. It was something I decided that I wanted to do. I was writing in my journal, and I was writing out the things that happened throughout the day. It maybe was about 2 years ago or something to that effect. And I was writing in my journal, and the more I was writing in my journal about my day, the more irritated I was becoming because my day was full. It was a very impactful day. And I was writing and I was writing and I was writing. And at that moment, I became overwhelmed. And it was maybe like 10:30 at night. And I remember putting down my journal and I went to my husband. I was like, I'm going for a ride. And he was like, what? And I was like, I'll be back. I'm going for a ride. And he was like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm going for a ride. And I got in my car and I rode around town in silence. And at the time, it may or may not, I think it was raining or drizzling or something to that effect. And I rode in silence for about 20, 25 minutes around town. And that was me hitting Control Alt Delete. I was not obligated to be anywhere. There was no music playing. It was just me with my thoughts in silence, riding around town. At that moment, it was the most peaceful experience I had throughout that day. So, Tara, what are you trying to say? What I'm trying to say is there's nothing wrong with us hitting Control Alt Delete in our lives sometimes. Now, I'm not saying that you go throughout your whole day Control Alt Delete, right? We do have obligations. We do have responsibilities, right? We can't just say, oh, the kids are crying, Control Alt Delete. I'm not dealing with this right now. We can't do that, right? We can't go to work and say, hey, I'm not doing my job today, Control Alt Delete. We can't do that either. But there are certain moments when we can do it that we should definitely take advantage of those moments. There's nothing wrong with us taking time for ourselves. There's nothing wrong with us sitting in silence and saying, oh, today was stressful. Just you and your thoughts. You and your thoughts and a piece of paper and maybe writing out the good things that happen throughout the day, the bad things that happen throughout the day, the things that you could correct for the next day. Outside of Control Alt deleting from the external things that happen throughout your day or, throughout the week, there is nothing wrong with I was going to say Control Alting deleting, but there is nothing wrong with hitting Control Alt delete from people. Ooh, I feel like that could be like a whole nother episode. Some people are draining. And some people don't mean to be draining, but they are. Some people require a lot. And sometimes, if you're not where you need to be, you can't help them be where they need to be. And maybe you need to control alt delete from them and say, you know what? I'm not where I need to be today. Control alt delete. I can't handle that today. I can't respond to that text message today. I can't answer that phone call today. Or maybe not right now. I can't do that. Not right now. Not at this moment. Sometimes if you're trying to figure out people's emotions and people's moods, and I don't know what I'm gonna get, you know, from them today. Their moods are up and down, and yesterday they were good, and today I don't know what I'm gonna get. So control alt delete. It's not your job to try to figure out how to handle people. Life in itself is already stressful. Each individual, we already have a lot of things going on, a lot of personal struggles. Everyone has their own personal demons that they're dealing with, on top of external things that are going on. So we can't try to figure out how to handle other people. So if you're trying to wrestle with, I don't know how to handle, this person and that person's mood, and I don't know if I can take this person's mood today, and control alt delete. You don't have to. There is so much power in stepping away from things that you're not sure about, from things that are taking a lot out of you. When you hit control alt delete, what you're doing and what you're telling yourself is, hey, we're getting to that place where we're getting overwhelmed. We need to take a step back, regroup. We're getting a little overstimulated. We need to take a step back, get recharged, and then when we come back, we're able to give it our all. That's what I like to think about when I think about control alt delete from that perspective. I'm taking a step back to regroup, get myself together, to recharge. In certain aspects, I like to think that I'm an introvert. In certain settings, I am an introvert. In certain settings, I'm an extrovert. I'm kind of both depending on the day, I think. The thing about being both is when I'm in my introverted state, I'm recharging so that when I need to be an extrovert, I'm ready to go. I'm charged up. I can't be an extrovert every day, though. Cannot be. That's a lot of stimulation. So I like to think the same thing about control alt delete. When you control alt delete, you're stepping away. You're literally plugging yourself into an outlet, whatever that outlet may be. You're getting recharged so that when you bounce back out, you're ready to go. Now, you may ask, well, when I control alt delete, what do I do? If I'm stepping away, do I just step away and do nothing? Do whatever brings you peace and happiness, whether it's journaling, driving around town, playing a sport, getting your nails done, getting your hair done, getting a massage, going for a walk, reading a book, watching a movie, just sitting in silence, whatever that looks like for you. And it may not look the same every time, but we have to learn, if we're going to be better at parenting, if we're going to be better at being a friend, if we're going to be better at being a spouse, if we're going to be better at just being a decent human being, we have to learn how to step away and take time for ourselves so that when we do present ourselves in front of people and that we do give ourselves to the people who need us most, we have to learn how to step back and say, okay, whew, today was a lot. I need to take time for myself. Whew, today was a lot. Today was stressful. Today was busy. Today took a lot out of me. There is no reward at the end of life for who was the most exhausted, who did the most, who ran the most, who was the most busy. There's no reward at it. There's none. Yes, somebody will say, you know what? They always stayed on the go. They always work. Yeah, people will say that about you. But eventually, if you keep doing that, it will affect you in some way, shape, or form. If you don't control alt delete when it's necessary, you'll be doing a lot, but you'll be doing a lot of nothing. Or you'll start half doing stuff. So you'll be doing a lot, but you'll start half doing a lot. Learn to control alt delete and be unapologetic about it. Don't apologize or don't feel bad for saying, hey, I need to take some time, or hey, I need to back up. I need some rest. Don't feel bad about that. Now, on the other side of that, while you're contemplating, ooh, I need to control alt delete, make sure that you are actually doing before you control alt delete. Control alt delete cannot be used in a lazy state. Like, hear me when I say that. You can't be half doing and then say, whew, today was stressful. I think I'm gonna control alt delete. Because the people around you will resent you for that. But what they can't do is they can't resent you for giving your all and then saying, you know what, I need to step away for a while. I need to back up. I need to take some time for myself. I need a day. Some time ago, we instituted this thing in my house. Or sometime I call it momcation. And then my husband would do dadcation. And it would just be day or days where that was just our time. No responsibilities. Those days were set aside for us personally to just do what we needed to do, go where we needed to go. No questions, just step away. And we all need that. Outside of all of the titles we have, and that's everybody, all of the titles you have, all of the titles you hold, at the end of the day, you're still an individual. So, yes, I am a wife. I am a mother. I am a sister. I am a daughter. I am a friend. But at the end of all that, I'm Tara, the individual. And sometimes, yes, the individual gets sad, and the individual gets stressed, and the individual gets angry. And the individual has to Control-Alt-Delete. And the same goes for you. So throughout the week, throughout the month, throughout the rest of 2024, I want to encourage you to take time for yourself. Remember to Control-Alt-Delete, whatever that looks like for you. And hopefully, when you Control-Alt-Delete and take the necessary time for yourself and recharge, once you jump back into the swing of things, you can give it your all, 100%, 1,000%, until it's time to Control-Alt-Delete again. And I feel like that's the necessary step. And it is a necessary step. And just being an adult and just maintaining a healthy balance. So, as always, stay sweet. And until next time, don't forget to Control-Alt-Delete. See you guys in 2 weeks.